Hello, 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 action takers. Welcome, welcome. This is the very first episode of The Curated Life. The Curated Life is my brand new show I've just figured out the other day. So it's going to be every Tuesday, same time, 11 o'clock Mountain Standard. And it aims to help motivate, inspire, and help women in all areas of life. So we're talking work, health, wealth, lifestyle, recipes, you name it. We're going to be talking about it to make things simpler for you. So to kick things off today, I have a very, very special guest. She's actually also part of the group Action Takers Power Tribe. And I'm so excited. I've known this woman for like 20 or 30 years. Like, it has been a very long time. I'm not going to tell you.
Don't give away how old we are. Say like 15,
10 years.
Maybe.
Her name is Stacey Woody. She is a business owner, Air Force wife, mom of two, and she is on a mission to walk with families on their journey to healthy and helping them implement the healthy lifestyle. So there she is, everybody. Stacey Woody. Hey.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me on your very first episode.
I am so excited that you are my very first person to interview. I'm so excited for this episode because I also believe that health is so important for just, having that abundant lifestyle that we all want. So, sorry, I've got like little things popping up on my screen here. Sorry about that, guys. If you are here with us live, please let us know below, type your name so we can say hello. We're not actually in Facebook. We're going through third parties, so we can't exactly see you. So if you're here, let us know that you're here. Cece, to get started, do you want to fill in any blanks maybe that I didn't go over in your introduction?
Sure. So a little over 3 years ago now, I found a company and partnered with it, and the name of it is Juice Plus. And I connected with them because they are on a mission to bring healthy lifestyles around the world. And so that is something that really resonated with me. I really love my business because I have the freedom to work anywhere at any time and pretty much make my life the way that I want it to be. My favorite part of the business is watching people discover what true health is and financial freedom is and what it looks like for them. And that looks different for everyone, but I love that I'm able to help people realize both dreams.
That is fantastic. I love that too. This is why I bought a bunch of Juice Plus stuff from her. Was that like 2 years ago?
Yes.
I'm not so good at keeping up with it. So I still actually have stuff left, but I've started on my shakes again. So I actually feel a lot better when I'm drinking them.
Yes.
my vitamins.
That's awesome.
So what is something that maybe not a whole lot of people know about you?
So I was thinking about this, and I don't know. I'm pretty open book, I feel like. But something that a lot of people don't know is when I was a kid, so from probably age 6 or 7 until I graduated from high school, my family would take like 3-week trips in an RV all around the United States. So I pretty much got to see almost the entire United States, and we even went down into Mexico at some points from an RV as a family of 5. So it was an adventure, and it was something I didn't always enjoy as a teenager. But looking back, I got to see some amazing things in the United States, and I highly recommend it to everyone.
Heck yeah, 2 years ago, I think it was, we went up to the Black Hills and saw Mount Rushmore, which is only 6 hours from Denver. I've lived my whole life in Denver and I never went up there. So my parents never took me places like that to see what's around here. So that's really awesome that you got to do that.
Mount Rushmore is amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The Black Hills are really gorgeous, and they have wine up in them hills.
Yes, they do.
So why is it important for you to help others with their healthy journeys?
So it's very important to me because for the first time in basically human history, children their lifespan is going to be shorter than their parents. And that is something that I think is completely unacceptable. And I really would like to change that around. And one of the things is that if you as a parent or you as an aunt or an uncle are not taking care of yourself, or even the neighbor are not taking care of yourself and showing kids how to be healthy, then they don't know. And so helping people learn how to just add a few things or erase or take away a few things is so, so important, because I definitely want to change that. That it's not acceptable that there are 6-year-olds with plaque in their arteries right now.
Yeah, that is
okay for me.
I agree. That's totally not okay. I can get behind your mission for sure.
Thank you.
So when it comes down to it, so I mean, we all hear about all of these things, right? The keto diet, the South Beach diet, all of those, whatever they are, those fad diets. And then we also hear about those fad workouts like CrossFit and what's that new one? Orange Theory, like all of these different things. But when it comes down to it, when it boils down to the nitty-gritty, the actual facts, what is it that's actually important for us to be working on?
So, I mean, one of the main factors is really food and knowing what you are putting into your body. But there's also just getting up and getting moving is so vitally important. And then something that a lot of people don't think of is getting enough rest. Getting enough sleep is also, so those are 3 main things I would say, is knowing what you're putting into your body for fuel, i.e. what you're eating, moving, and that means different things for different people, and then getting enough sleep.
Okay. So that kind of goes along with like that 80-20 rule I've heard before, like it's 80% what you put into your body, but like 20% how you exercise. So maybe, is that accurate kind of depiction of what we should be thinking of?
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty accurate. There are times like people can out-train their diet. It's not very likely, honestly. Like, you really have to be careful. They say like summer bodies are made in the kitchen, and that's for the most part true. For the most part, people cannot out-train what they're eating if they're not eating healthy. That being said, if someone is running marathons or running like the Ironman, they can probably be eating junk and still out-train what they are eating. However, they're going to have a lot of oxidative stress. They're not going to feel good. There's a lot of detriments to not eating healthy, even if you are running 100 miles a day.
Mm-hmm. So I know that you are part of the other group I started for June challenge, which is called Alive to Thrive. And one of the rules of the challenge is to remove one item that is crappy for you that you eat a lot of. So would you think that that's maybe a good kind of start to boost if you're going from like a couch potato to trying to be healthy?
Yes, I think that's an amazing idea. And I love that you gave people the opportunity to choose what they cut out for the 30 days, because I think that is really a good key. I don't like telling people you have to cut this out of your diet. Mm-hmm. You can say, what would you like to cut out and how do you think that would help you feel? And so I think that was an amazing challenge, and I've only cheated once on accident.
I don't remember. What did you decide to put out of your diet?
So my guilty pleasure is potato chips.
Ah, right.
Yes. And I totally was at a business thing and potato chips came with my lunch, and I didn't even think about it. Like, I had a salad and like an open faced sandwich and a thing of potato chips, and I was like done eating them, and I was like, oh crap, I wasn't supposed to eat potato chips this month. But other than that, I have been good, which is
that's okay.
Really
I think once a week was fine. Yes. I have managed to cut alcohol out of my diet all month so far. I know we're only like 11 days in, but like I would come home like every night and have a glass of wine and sit on the back porch or something. So it was kind of a really big deal. And I went to a party and I didn't have anything. So
yes, that is awesome. Good. I'm so proud of you.
So the next big thing that you hit on was movement.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? And I've got to plug in my computer, so I'm going to duck out of this frame, but you just have your thing.
Yeah, definitely. Movement is different for different people. So for some people, just getting up and going for a walk, taking your dog for a walk, taking your children for a walk, or even Something that's really fun if you have kids that are a little bit smaller, or even, I even play it with my 11 and 14-year-old, is tag. So something as simple as a game of tag or a game of hide and seek, if you don't move a lot, it gets you up, it gets you moving. Then there's, depending on your fitness level, there's all different things that you can do. Walking, running, going to the gym and lifting weights. Lifting weights is always, once you have been cleared and you are ready to do it after talking to a doctor and get training on how to properly lift weights, but it does build bone density, especially for us women that are getting just a little bit older, not really old, but a little bit older. You need to make sure that you're building up your bone density. And something that helps do that is lifting weights.
That's really interesting. Does calcium actually help build bone density? Because I've kind of heard it go both ways, that was a fallacy.
I've heard it both ways too, but I know that if you are putting impact, and you don't want to do high impact if there's issues, like running, but it will help strengthen your bones. And calcium is one of those things that it depends on which doctor you talk to. But getting calcium through leafy greens studies are showing that that's the healthier way of going, rather than through some of the more traditional ways that we thought of through dairy.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I've actually, what was the name of that book? The China study talked about dairy and beef and all of that. So that's a good one to pick up if you're interested in that.
Yes.
So if you're just tuning in, let us know you're here. Type up your name so we can see you. We are not actually through Facebook, so we can't actually see who's on here. But if you let us know, and also any questions you might have, just go ahead and drop that in the chat too. And we are speaking here with Stacey Woody. She is freaking awesome, fantastic health nut who I'm hoping I can get the healthy vibes off of just by spending 15 minutes with you here today.
Oh, thank you.
And so the last thing that you talked about was getting enough sleep. Can you kind of explain all of that to us? Because I know in this day and age, it's super hard for busy people to get a full night's sleep. And what really counts as a full night's sleep?
Yes. So I know lots of working professionals don't get enough sleep. They get, the average, I think, is 4 to 6 hours for working moms. And I know it's so hard, but that's not enough. 6 hours is probably the absolute minimum that people should be getting. And one of the reasons for that is because while you're sleeping, your body actually detoxes. And so that's a very important thing that you need to do. Yes. So when you go into REM, which you need minimum of about 6 hours of sleep, like I try to get 8 hours. You go into your REM and that helps your body detox. It helps your brain function. It helps with endorphins. And it helps with oxidative stress. So that all of that, your body really processes a lot while it sleeps, and not getting enough can definitely be detrimental to every aspect of your health and your brain health. So that it's really a very important thing that I know a lot of people don't get enough of, which is unfortunate.
Is there something as, like too much sleep?
There is too much sleep. Too much sleep is really a sign of depression. So if you're getting more than probably 10 hours, you really need to go to a doctor. It's also a sign that you're not getting into that deep sleep. So you might have some kind of sleep apnea or something like that. And I recently read a study that people that sleep over 12 hours a day, definitely that's a health, but there's health decreases in that. They don't live as long as people who only sleep 8 to 10 hours. Huh. It's almost like only sleeping 4 hours. So
I have to get 10 hours or else I'm like a zombie. So I can't imagine trying to live on 4 hours of sleep. That just sounds horrible. So awesome. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the community before we go? Like any on the sleep or movement or food? Or do you think we did a good job covering everything?
I think we did a good job. I think that it's just important, like So for food wise, cutting out just like what Shay is doing of just one thing a month, or you can add one thing. So one of the things that I added, so one of my story, let me go back. So my story a little bit. My health journey really began when I was a child. So my mom had a home daycare, and she had to take nutritional classes because of it. Like that was one of her requirements to have a license. And so that's when I really started learning how much fruits and vegetables and healthy living is important. Like food can really affect you. So she's the first one to actually do it. But then, you know, you go through being a teenager when your parents don't know anything, and then college when you just eat whatever you want.
Top line.
Yes. So until I really got married and got pregnant for the first time, I was not a good label reader or anything else. It's after I got pregnant and wanted a healthy pregnancy that I really started looking at what was in everything and trying to add more fruits and vegetables to my diet. And I did. I had 2 healthy pregnancies, and my children were wonderful. They're healthy and growing up strong. And so then it was about 3 years ago, I guess, about 3.5 years ago, I was starting to train for my very first half marathon. And I was the healthiest I had ever been, in my opinion. Like, I thought I was doing an amazing job. So I was already doing a boot camp, and then I started training for a half marathon. So I was running a lot more than I am now. I don't remember how many miles a day. And I was eating my salads, and I was drinking my water, and I was getting my sleep. So I thought I was doing an amazing job. But my trainer started noticing, so my boot camp trainer started noticing that I got really dark circles under my eyes. I became very gaunt. Like, I just didn't look healthy. My hair started falling out. And so she recommended that I up my nutrition. And an easy, simple way to do that is through Juice Plus. So she's the one that introduced me to it. And all that is fruits and vegetables in a capsule. So I added that. I tried to get a little bit more sleep. I changed my diet in the little ways of maybe getting rid of some dairy and some stuff like that. And I saw some amazing results. Like, my hair started growing back, thank goodness, because I'm a hair person. And I got rid of my dark circles. I was able to train longer and harder. My recovery was so much easier. So I was sold, and I was like, my entire family has to be on this. And that's what really got me even more motivated to start looking at labels and everything like that. So.
And your whole family is on it today on the Juice Plus, right?
Oh, yes. My entire family, except for my grandpa, who is 101.
Oh,
and
wow.
uses anything new. And I was like, okay, Grandpa, you don't have to be on it. Just keep eating your vegetables, which he does. He's an amazing vegetable eater. So, and he started eating grapes because his eyes started going bad. But I was like, okay. That's the only person I have not sold on it, because, you know, grandpas, when they're 100 years old, they're kind of set in their ways and didn't want to add anything else to his schedule of stuff. So everyone else, yes, is on it, and they have some amazing stories themselves.
You know, something you said about just tweaking what you're eating a little bit and then feeling that. So I too was feeling really, really crappy, like bloated all the time, and I had crazy stomach problems and all of that. So I went and I got a blood test to see what I was allergic to, and it came up that I was sensitive to gluten. So I cut that out, and all of my issues completely just stopped within like 2 weeks, and I felt so much better.
That is amazing.
For our listeners, our watchers today, like, if you have issues and you're not feeling good, it very well could be something that you're eating. And yeah. I for one highly recommend like going and getting an allergy test done, just to make sure that you're not like literally poisoning yourself without knowing it.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yes, and gluten allergies and intolerances are becoming more and more common, and so is dairy. So those are the 2 main things that if you have lots of inflammation or lots of stomach issues, that you may want to look at just decreasing or taking completely out of your diet.
Mm-hmm. And just seeing what happens.
Yes, but a doctor's visit is always recommended.
Yeah, for sure. So if ladies wanted to get a hold of you and get their hands on some of this Juice Plus, like, how can they do that?
Yeah. So I do have a website, but one of the things that I love to do is talk to you individually and make sure that what you are getting is exactly what you need. And then we also, the company as a whole, runs a program that if you have a child between the age of 4 and in college, that they can get their Juice Plus for free. So yeah. So any adult can sponsor any child. It does not have to be related to you. It can be cousins and nephews, nieces, neighbor down the street. I have one that's a neighbor down the street.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So if you want to contact me, Facebook is definitely a good way to do it. So is Instagram. So Facebook, I'm Stacey Woody because Schmidt is my maiden name. And I'm eating a dried piece of kale in my profile picture. That's me. I'm on Instagram as Stacey Woody, and then my email, which I will put in the chat down below.
Awesome. Well, Stacey, thank you so very much for coming on today. And everything you said is just so valuable. And I really think that people are going to get some good value bombs out of today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Like I said, I feel so privileged to be your first interview.
I am so excited that you were. I wasn't even nervous. Awesome, guys. Well, so this show, The Curated Life, is going to be every Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m. We're going to go live. We're going to cover lots of everything about lifestyle, living, money, career, everything that's going to help you with your life. So be sure to make sure you tune in here to The Curated Life every Tuesday. We'll talk to you guys later. Mwah.